How are you guys? I hope there'll be a few people that are watching. It's fine. It's Antola Bailey. Good evening, guys. Welcome to this live. I also have a YouTube channel. Please go and subscribe if you can. Subscribe on a YouTube channel called Cilia Motsoning Zangele. That's where I'm also found. I've got about 82. Let me just say more than 80 videos to watch there. Some you may find useful, some you may find like maybe you don't agree with something there. I would like you to tell me and make sure that you put in the comments there. Leave the comments in the comment section. Why over John? Don't be like that. Let me touch it. As I've said, as you have seen on the oh, excuse. I put a description in the description box about what today's video is about. The video today is about being careful with who we have children with. Let us be very, very careful. Yesterday, Negligibility have I known what things I would have done differently. I want to start there before I get to this one because they correlate. Had I known that the guy I got married to was not the good guy I thought he was, I would have never had agreed to marry him. I would never have agreed to have any children with him. I would never have persuaded him to have children with. So yeah, that is me now. The me now, that's knowing now what I could have done differently then, says that now. PT, we cannot change the past. We can't go back to the past and change anything. So we're just talking here. So if I were to advise the 20-year-old me, I would say, girl, enjoy life. Go out. Go and have fun. Date and date a lot. Yeah, keep your circle tight. Trust no one. Thank you, Take. Pet Mutsuning. Definitely, I fully agree with you. Keep your circle very, very tight, because the bigger it is, the useless it is. That I can assure you. The bigger your circle of friends, the more useless it becomes. And you know when you'll know actually you're having a big circle for nothing? The day you have problems. Just have problems, major problems, you'll see how small your real circle is. So PT, we are made in a different way that does not allow us to have x-rays into people's hearts and people's minds. So that is the biggest problem that we have. So we never have to see people who they are until certain conditions and certain things happen to us. Only then we can say, oh, okay, actually this person is not the person I thought they are. So unfortunately we have to wait for some of the things to happen before we can know exactly who our real friends are and who are not. Because unfortunately, they are not written on the forehead. There is no other way to tell except for when problems arise. So we can say there are times. Hi VK. Hi Q. Thank you. Ish. So ke se ke tshole ke o romilwe ao ke o bona mkhotsi wa ka. I see you, my love. I was saying even though dintho tse jwalo can also make you see hore actually sometimes re feta dinthong tse thata or re feta mathateng so that we can see who the people that we need in our life are. So that should tell us, oh, okay, actually sometimes when we have big problems, the reason is for us to see how big or how small our circles are. So that when we move forward, we can move forward with a lesser circle, a lesser number of people that you're spending time with unnecessarily. So, okay, fine. And then somebody said something yesterday about that topic when I said, if I knew what I know now, what would I have done differently? And he said, you know what, you must always remember that everything that happens to you happens for a reason. And some of the things that happened to you in the past, making a part of your history, they are making who you are now, which is also true. It is very, very much true. Some of the things that happen to you are for the future, or they are for other people, or fit that in so that you can handle other people with care. You'll be knowing exactly how it feels like to be there. Hi, Maxo. So sometimes we have to pass through divorce so that we can encourage other women or other men that will be passing through divorce later in life, and you can give them hope and say, sometimes a parent for the sake of after a while o tlo gona hore ha motho mong a hlaelwa ke bothata bo hlahetseng o bo gona go yena. I know how it feels like. I was once there. I lost a parent too, and I know how it feels like. And coming from you, it will sound differently to that person rather than motho a ileng hore ha feta bothateng bo. We somehow relate with people that know what we feel like because they have passed through those things. The minute, hi Zandi, hi Dimax. Because we understand that they passed where we passed, then but and we tend to trust them more, and we take their advices more than anyone else. Now, coming to today's topic, be careful about who you are having kids with. This one, I so want to say it over and over again to the young people that are still going to have children. I know rona re fitile sell by date ya rona, we'll never have more kids, some of us, me and others. Mara, guys, take our advice. Yo, sometimes we have kids with the wrong people in our lives, and we don't want you to pass more on our thing. Can you please trust us on this one? It's not easy having a child with somebody that does not share the same passion as you are when coming to children, and does not want to share the responsibilities with you as a parent. You don't want to have a child that is solely your responsibility. Hobane ngwana ha tla lefatsheng hi precious, ngwana ha tla lefatsheng ha tliswa ke motho a i1, and we can do it. We can play, and particularly us as mothers, most of the time we are very capable of playing a role of maintaining the kids by ourselves. We even have a say, ngwana kwa msadi, ngwana kwa msadi. We can say that, but unfortunately for the child, there is always that gap that will never feel. I never feel I can play my subside or whatever I look. Unfortunately, there will be a piece of a part. The fatherly role, you cannot, no matter how good you think you are, you'll never feel that gap. It will always be there. So and unfortunately we don't choose. Mara, how do you choose? Do you see it's the right partner? How do you see it's the right partner? Now I'm thinking it is not foolproof. Hore, if a person is good to you in a relationship, they will also be automatically good when coming to having children. Because a relationship can be so smooth without a child. It can run very smoothly. The minute a little person comes into your life, le relationship is a fela, relationship ha se fela, o tlo makala gore hao kanti relationship ha e fela, ho so fela le relationship ya hao le ngwana jwanong. So a person abasaba ntweo. So ke ho araba, my darling, there is no way, there is no foolproof recipe. This is how you can tell whether the person is not suitable to be a partner or a partner in parenting, because sometimes a relationship is fela, but the partnership in parenting must still stay. So but I must say, if there is anything that you can see even before, if you are lucky enough to see hore motho o harate bana, kapa the person tells you directly hore nna ke rate bana, don't take such things lightly. Do not take such things lightly. If motho are like abu ka mlomo, nna I don't want a child, but you are forcing issues because of your selfish reasons. So but about responsibility or the body change in a woman. No, mostly it's not even about the body change. It's about what's about responsibility. Responsibility and one, it becomes too much for them. Happy. One other thing is, when you are expectant as a woman, the hormones do affect it somehow. Either you becoming too emotional or you becoming clingy, like wamumisa, and now you for them you're acting out of character. Because of such things. And like this answer that one should be answered by men. So we don't know. Mara, I suspect responsibility. Hey man, the way man got responsibility as tabu. The way man got they should tell us what is it that they are running away from. Where's Pet? Pet, come and tell us. Maybe there is something that you can get from you. If you got on a Pet, please on the comment box more. I could comment on and like keying a. So, but I'm saying, if there are any signs that you can detect before you have a child with a person, Do not take them lightly. Take them seriously. When people tell you who they are, believe them. When people show you who they are, believe them. If motho o tlo complain ka bana ba habo, that should be an indicator to you or this person ke o a mara why ba tlogela one child ba lo nna le motho ka bana ba ifo. That is a mystery. That is a huge mystery. Hence, actually, this question, I'm not even supposed to answer it. It's supposed to be answered by men. We need to have a big, serious circle talk where there are men and women, and we get to hear and like what is it that makes them leave women after they had children with, and most of the time it was ele bona ba itseng ke batla ngwana hle ke batla ngwana motho o emelle then give in bo etse o itshole after mo o itshole. So it's not responsibility. Sometimes it is responsibility. Let me tell you something, Kyo. You know, I have 3 kids. There are men that would approach me. Many times they approach me. Can you believe it? The minute fela lentse le bua, there is a question that pops up. The dobana ba wa ba hlokomele. They want to know when the dobana ba wa ba hlokomela na wa inter maintenance. So you can tell hore like they don't have a problem but they want to know how much responsibility will it be on their shoulders. The minute or have I maintain so many of them lose interest. So I don't know, maybe it's not responsibility, maybe it is. Kapa ba bang ba balea responsibility, ba bang ba balea di bodies tsa rona. So we don't know. Maybe some are running away from the body changes that we go through during pregnancy. And a shame. Baba tsama ba lo lata motho a fitileng pregnancy ntse for once nga chinchile le yena. Just because they didn't know those people before. So, alright, we don't know about this. Now I'm saying who araba happy for the last time, there is no particular reason. Hi Angela, I just wish I knew before Joe. Topic ena e khutlisa set memory man memsi banna I give up banna yo ai banna. That's why ke tsantse re botse banna and like tata ke eng, like we should stop making deductions on our own, because but what complicated about, they must tell us actually what is bothering them, what is changing their feelings about us. Horna is it gibana kampon ing, because ntwena affect evenly basadi ba ngata in terms of, let's say I need 3 children. Hey, o try kopana relationship ya pele, it's warm, actually someone home monate le plana ngwana hlae ha sa qeta o hla ba o siya le ngwano. Now you're still young, o mohudisa ngwana teng, then you meet the second person a bona ga go ena le ngwana you one relationship ba monate bentle 1 2 3 1 2 3 le ena sa batla wa high, because by that time o busy wa wa mhlokomela o so qala ona na wa tsa keng motho wa modimo the way ileng a good parent ho ngwana o iseng wa hae ka teng, let me give me tse ngwana o go wa motsetsa ngwana a bale motho a bale a ska ba hetla le mra o so siwe ke number 2 a tsamaya what are the third person. You are still young, you cannot live without hore o ratuwe le wena o batle motho o thole motho a buitre a fihle le yena a hlokomele bana bana o tse ba fihla fela, they like to impress. Ba fihla ka impression man, ba fihla ba impress, they do things that you wish to see, and the things that you wanted to see their fathers do to them. Man, ba ubono, yay, muna na yena. I can't be 3 times unlike itle. Lauka tree. I feel I'm such a good parent to your children. Lena ke kopa waka. For the 3rd time, you're trying again. Abali emot. Now you are having 3 children with different fathers. It's not your fault to babalile. It's not. Jana. Labanga kwena common factor. Hey, what? I don't care. You just got unlucky. Hayi onto jwana. Ayikho. Ena bathona ba rethetsa bana. Akabona. And laba batlo impress, they do all the right things. They can tick all the boxes. Yay! Yeah, hi, this person is good. This person is doing this. This person is doing this. Kanta is just for time being. The minute this is becoming a permanent thing. Otola first pay wile. So nene basadi ba ambasetse le 3 ya bana ba ambasetse le 4 ke mohla motho tlo bua dipuo tsa hore he ska tlo shebana le nna ba bona ba o sietseng ke mohla ba tlo hlabang ka mantswe ba tlo bolela ntho tse bohlokotse tsa hore le nna ke thotse ba o sile so why nna tshwantse go putha ha really ma go ntho tse ke le tsewa o sa bua ho no fihla mo. So hi kinto tse bohloko tseo. Zoe are hi Omas. Zoe are hello Zoe. Mara wa ile gona re thetseha ai at the end of the day bana ba safara mo. Ke nnete wa tseba re safarisa bana ba rona. Hence we have a big generation in daddy issues because now as mothers we can fool ourselves as much as we want. Ngwana mara yo never like that. You don't know how to be a man. You only know how to be a woman. You can't be both. You are a woman, finish and clear. You gave birth to the child, finish and clear. There is a part of that child that needs to be filled up by that child's person that brought them to this world. For as long as balting fatsimuna. Maraba balia. And then there are women. The problem. They still fall in the same trap. Hello, Nana. Nana Entle, hello. Hey, so when it maratete, Hashem ratete, at the end of the day, banaba suffer. That is the truth. And then they are women. They are not ready to be mothers. I know a lady somewhere in Kelele. That woman, shame. I don't know how many babies she had. But she lives with the last time I checked she was living with 1. I don't know Loro Unza Adulelena owner. But she was living with 1 child out of many. Ke khobile le bana ba my 8. Ha qeta pepa onka ngwana o amuisa bona amsiemo. A fete. A bene le relationship yeng. A bene le ngwana o mo. A nke ngwana o a lo mlahla ha bontate wa hae. Jwalo bana ba hae they are he manna le bana msadi o but wetsa boshoba hore wa banka alo balahla mo. So the last one anadula lena I don't know is because maybe na sa khathetse the last born ya hae ola dula le yona he. So I don't know o ka intsa le teng tsa dula lena ngono ha so ka motsamaisa na because she's a kind of a woman that does not like having kids but is not afraid to have kids. Imagine banna bao ba neng ba bana le ngwana le yena. They didn't know this is a kind of a person that cannot raise children. She can bring them here, as well for by vessel and bring them here to this planet Earth. Marite deal kwa ha dumpa lwena. Abatlo lotse ba rentle kwa dumela ka ba o dumela fitla msia mo heno mo asa msi ha msia heno. So it's not just men who are a problem in terms of running away from responsibility. There are women who are. Hi Palisang. So there are even women who are in the same boat. Ba ileng hore le bona ba tshwana le banna, they run away from responsibilities tsa bomme. And then ba siya bana mo, bana ba teng ba tshwantse ba hodiswe ke di stepmother, ba hodiswe ke boragadi, ba hodiswe ke bonkgono, ba hodiswe ke whoever that can. And sometimes those people are not going to give those children love the same way she should have. And as a result, uthola bana ba teng ba ba open to different abuses, physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, mobile thing. And she wouldn't care. Hana taba. O tla batluwa ka khumbule khaya a sa tsofetse mme wa teng. So actually this thing of having children, it needs us to be sure before it. Like, I don't know how, but we must fight and pray if we can. You know, have something maybe mona now talking. I think how do you get 8 children knowing how ratibana? Problem starts with us women. Contraceptives demos. Yes, there are women by long hore naturally the contraceptives are the handle, and they do need it. Honale baba, honale one contraception is some swaring handle. About decide as I never got like a bear clinic. I'll have children. Mara, highly who is I. O traile method e1. I just otlabasa abua generally. I nna di contraception I didn't tshwara hantle. I nna di contraception I didn't tshwara hantle. Mara o busy wa tswala. So babang, it is true that the contraceptions di aba failure. Ha di ba tshwara hantle kaofela tsona tlole this method a ye one. A tlole ona ye one. Mara hele yona condom tsa teng akere. So we put on okay, fine. Why has I resorted to the last method? As why see, and so many batunga. How many children did we see? Babatana lebo mebabon. How many? There are so many as well. As much as basibanga taskabundati. Mara, hey man, banswal temba sadibao. Ba sa batleng ho etsa, ba sa batleng ho hodisa bana ba bona. Ba teng ba bangata. And how do you forgive such men who run away from their kids? I was thinking it's a choice. I really do believe forgiving is a choice. And if we can make them maintain their kids, like there's nothing wrong with that, going to the maintenance court, at least force them to maintain their kids while they are running away with other responsibilities of being there presently. But taking to the maintenance court it's an option. But I won't lie, maintenance court. Our South African courts are not making things easy for us. Bayeza ebe processing a painful. You have to see that person so many times. And then ba postpone case. You don't even understand. Right now, the father of my kids is not maintaining for 2 full years now. You feel it? He said that guy go maintenance court. Because I remember the last time I took him to the maintenance court, it took me months of going boma high 2-3 in a month, high 2-3 in a month, high 2-3 for months. Maternal case ya maintenance fail. Balance heads agana kweu. Kila matter until ebe fela atloela msebetsi. Abdi Michael Sehanka ke a bona ngwana heso. Please put in an input. Kele bomme re a botsa hore na when we have children Belibalia ing, are you running away from us? Kapa Are you running away from the body changes that are happening with us? Or are you running away from your responsibilities? Maybe you don't want responsibility or what? Hey, and this one I'm going to, it reminds me of another topic that I want us to talk about. Mare, I think I'll postpone it to tomorrow. Onale topic what if you, as partners, you discover that you are expecting a child, you are pregnant, and the guy tells you, I cannot afford, I cannot afford to be a parent right now, and I'm not ready emotionally to be the parent, and I do not want a child at this stage in my life. Then decide that okay, I'll keep the baby. Moto awa le chelete and abortion ya re nka tsamisa abortion. Nna be ke nka chelete eo tsama ke lo reka maliri kaofela ke lo reka eng. Hore, is it fair for me to turn back and say una le ngwana fepa ngwana give me some maintenance code fepa ngwana? That person told me the minute they discovered hore I'm pregnant, they were frank with me hore I'm not ready emotionally, I'm not ready to be a parent at this particular time in my life. Obile honest rather than baba baliham fail. Hore, is it fair for us to carry on and have babies and say, hi, God said. Remember, God said sex before marriage is a sin. Are there sins that are better than others? So we'll talk about that again tomorrow. Hey, okay, at the end, let me tell you what happened with my name in short. And 20 I know I divorced. He could have, okay, but let's say the two of us did not think about abstaining. It happened. Married now, this happens. And what if we're using protection and then it did not happen? It did not work. In that case, we could have abstained, or he could have abstained. Fine. Let's say they used protection, they took measures, and now whatever measure disappointed the two of them, and now boom, this happens. I'm asking that because there is a guy that won a case at maintenance court because of that. Because he provided proof for like nana le body, and there are WhatsApp chats, there are in. So when people want to keep records, whenever you are going to talk with somebody about something that is very, very important and you think it needs reference in future, don't call them. Don't call. If you call, maybe some phones do have voice recording. It's fine. That's better. There's a voice that is close to someone. But the best thing, keep the chats. Chats are super important. Keep the chats. The chats are so important. What if that child is my last? Okay, it's fine. It's your last. But he was not ready. What if he's not ready? So we should also be careful of having children with people who are not ready, who are telling you, who are honest enough to say, I'm not ready for that responsibility. Rather than babaliham fele, there are those babaliham. What if I lose Popelo? And I'm a no. Seriously, there are so many things to consider. There are so many things to ponder here. So this topic is broad. It's very, very broad. It gets broader by the minute. I hear all your valid points, Keo. Abdi Temba. What is it that most men are running away from when a relationship in the minute o ba le ngwana bo split? What is it that makes most men, we're not saying it's all men, what makes most men run away from the relationship? Is it because of me as a person? Maybe I'm no longer attractive anymore now that I have a baby because there are body changes that happened to me. Or is it because you are running away, or they are running away? Let me not include you there. They are running away from the responsibility. Please, if you can give us your input, your male perspective, we would love to hear that. If you can answer, it would be so nice to hear from you. What is it that men are running away from? Are they running away from the body that has changed, or the responsibility that has just landed on planet Earth, calling them and calling their surname? One other thing that we need to be careful with, we also need to check our belief system. What kind of a belief system are we in? Because, hi, Ndamfote, so nice to see you. Zoe says, now I was 17 with my first. I guess the guy was not ready because he disappeared. I let him be. I had to forgive myself for trusting him. When my daughter was 10, he was suddenly ready. No, it was only then that he was ready. He was suddenly ready and nicely asked him to Excuse Zoe. I asked him to nicely disappear until she was 18. Yo, Zoe, this is so funny. If he disappeared unannounced for 10 years, then 8 years. Zoe, you are so funny. If you could disappear for 10 years, 8 years ago, but then I hear you. Did he agree to disappear for another 8 years or so? How can you ask on I disappear again for another 8 years? Huh? Oh, negate another thing. Before we have children with people, we need to check our belief systems. Sometimes bana le ngwana le motho leng hore le differa haholo ka di religions or belief systems. O thola hore maybe yena ha bona ba rata dintho tsa setso haholo, and wena you don't believe. Kapa wena rata dintho tsa setso haholo and bona they don't believe. Now o thola ngwana sa hlaile monana, you feel like they need to do something to acknowledge the child on their side, and they are not doing it. Or sometimes bona kamane they want to do this and that and that. I mean, there are people, let's say get example, there are people that want to cut ngwana monona wa bo9. What if obana le ngwana le motho? This is the part you don't know. How papa kapa ke that family e batlang hore ngwana teng tshwanetse a tlo sewa ka lehare ne. And I would born into the like you were fine, not thabile relationship. And now comes a time where you have to give birth. And then now comes a time where you have to how almost subjected to all those things. will it be possible? And you do know hona le batho ba bang ba reng gona ngwana gona ha hole le metseng, then now you are forced to go tshwantse either ofane ka ngwana kampong o nyalwe mo. What do you ntho tseo? What's when the minute ba gona ha ba hole le metseng, now they are pushing one of the two things. Either you give your child to that family because ngwana teng ha hole le metseng, or now you must force marriage le motho le ngore is not ready for marriage for the sake ya hore ngwana ha hole le metseng. I mean kana go o tshaba go ngwana o tlo hlokala. Hi also fellow Zotari, he agreed but unfortunately before what's like so Zota ke batla o ntse o la fila jwang he go go ngwana batho la hlokala a year before at least selemo sa bo 18 he o ikutlile jwang he wa bona mang o chitile ngwana ka ntho the side of ntate wa hae because we don't mo abali happy for thinking this is funny. Motho abale o balile for 10 years, 8 years as for call bali happy o tla khutla ngwana la 18 zoda are nna ke la botsa hore heso ke motseng na ba tshwa jwale ba heno ke motseng. Hi o tsolofelo are ha o le maratong and young you don't use your head. And that's the problem. And this is why we're having these conversations, so that the young people of today, should they ever come across these conversations, they can make different choices. They can be alert. Rona, during our times, there was no one that was holding such conversations. Le Rona, hore. We need to think about this, we need to think about that. No one was ever putting that into your head. You were just told, hey, bashimani, hey, but I was pregnant. No one ever made you think, okay, think about the person that you want to have a child with. Are they suitable? Do you think they're gonna be suitable even after? How sure are you that they are ready to be parents? So I think it would have made a difference during our time, Lerona, should someone have made us aware of such conversations, points to ponder. Man, before I must think about this. Before I let this person, let me ask Horna, and like Gufila Jean country jena. Let me ask her, and like Henu Hangwana Atla. I need to know that before. It's got to be ngwana sa hlaile mona na sa hlang ngwana teng e be le hona ke batho ba bageng he tlisa ngwana tshwantse re tlo mokuta ana le kgwedi ngwana tshwantse a sa le ka chicha Maria a July o bata they are forcing ngwana mena o kutwa moriri hana le kgwedi tshwantse mo re go kutu kana kwe wena ngwana ha o no khaletse moriri wa hae o motlenyana ka go nka lastanyana na kunya dikgwedinyana. So there are so many things, and things like those we may think they are light, but when the reality hits, when they come on our doorsteps, they are not so light anymore. So I don't know if there's any other thing that you'd like to add as well. So also we need to talk more with our daughters. Okay, guys, think before you have kids with the people that you love. Remember, the person that you are in a relationship with can either be a mother or they can be a wife. They can be good at both, or they can be good at one. And fathers, exactly the same thing. Somebody can be a husband and a father, and be good at the two. Some are good fathers but terrible partners. So a person needs to try and establish as much as they can even before, because the signs are always there. Remember, we keep on saying the signs are always there. Most of the things there are things that you could have picked up I should have picked up this. I should have picked up that. So I was telling luckily by the rituals. Yes, you are lucky. Yay! There are so many rituals. Hey, another ritual when I was I do know it was before I was 12. So I may have been 10 or so. There was this couple, Nredula Evertoni. So go Evertoni. Some are good sex partners. Some are good sex partners, and then baban they are terrible ones. Okay, but I'll go kalakataba in and I had rituals. So hey, like some of the rituals like I cannot forget this one. There are many households so now it was my father's nearly habon tatuaka first khosa teng it was nearly habon tatuaka mone re dula teng so tatuaka ne le batho ba ba sa batleng ipatlela ha bona a shebileng hore o tlo inherita site ya ha bona like jarati yo tatuwa entsa mphomisa go tloba ya hao so we living there now. My story is about this couple. Ne qala bona the ritual that they made. I'm not sure because ne ke le ngwana hore na ngwana teng ona sona le nako kae, but ne se khale ngwana teng a hlahile ke a hopola ngwana had to be go and put in the road. There is a road called the Old Johannesburg Road ka hara Val. Isn't Golden Highway, the Old Golden Highway. The Old Golden Highway, if it batse banga fatone, if it dinkung, if it machining, lots of kwa Park Town, nka ya mabitli. Heso ine ile someone kareng o ya mabitli. Pela bo Cambridge man. But on the Old Golden Highway, ngwana was put there kaharatsila, and bona tshwantse ba mosie mo ba gotle ba tento. They were singing, and ha go plantlo no bitso ho no binwa di fela ngwana o siwa ka ratsela ba gutla. I remember I was a child, but I was in such a panic mode. Like I was like, how can I besi? Can you believe her? And Bambaili in Alesmo. And the koloi had to need him took. Bamo Bailey exactly or more white lining when I be mahari, but the koloi had to need fiteka toko. For a certain period of time, okay, it was not 5. Jarata Hesuneli Jarata 2 from but Jarata there are plots actually. Plot number 2. Mamela Batamaya Balom Lat and nothing after period exciting. But because Negiling Wanakili anxious, for me it felt like very long because my concern was how basic amachaisa. So I ke hopola kana ko nuksa khono botsa anything, but as ke hudile ke botsa mme wa ka incident eo. She was surprised that I still remember that incident. Kambosa ke ba what was the reason behind? It was a ritual for that family ya bo monna ya bo ntatongwana. It was a ritual that must be done elong ho to itisa ngwana. E mutisa isense e mo ruta hore a itlhokomele. Like a baby. How can you like go to one since I could do our I like it did not make sense to me. But Kimohe, there was such a ritual. I don't know if there are still such families that practice that ritual. I don't know. So imagine Heki baby nyana how you something you go Golden Highway. So he cheated himself. My daughter didn't know him, and when he died, that's the only time the daughter heard about him. I got married when she was 3, and my husband played a big role in my daughter's life. No, I just love Hore. You allowed yourself to love again, and you got a person that played a big role as a father figure to the child. That is good. And by God's grace, when he passed on, girl was old enough to understand. My husband explained everything to her. She didn't want to go to the funeral, only wanted to go see the grandmother after we took her. She was 15. Shame. So guy still had 3 years to go. I cannot live like that's for Golden Highway. I'm telling you, there is a road called the Golden Highway here. It used to be a road in a Isaba to Joburg, so it used to be called Joburg Road. It was like a road. It was a big road before, but it's another one. So we now have a new Golden Highway. It also works as the Joburg Road. That was the road. 1 hour was put there, and at that time there was no other road. It was the main road, that Golden Highway at that time. Like, I've never panicked like that, as if one thing part of the ritual but one out after a period of time. So also bona fela yo kopani, but ngwana o sua ka tsele, man, it was too traumatic even for me. So liking ngwana teng ha no e hopola because he or she was only a baby when that happened. So I was thinking, today when you are a woman of the match today, unsay a shame. Yo, my girl. Because I keep 8 years and I'm to now go to lie how finyana we're not from this. I go, I was on so calling on no muntil. I say, oh, but thank you so much for tonight's chat. Thank you to everyone that has contributed. Hi, VK. I go born nothing. Okay, bye bye, and good night, girl.